All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Plex here in sunny Irmo, South Carolina. I'm your host, JP Barry, and I'm joining you here riding solo here, but still got a great team behind me, and we got a great team in front of you right now as the University of South Carolina has taken the ice. The Gamecocks 9-1-1 on the season, with the tie being an overtime duel with Georgia that the Gamecocks won in a shootout, and the loss being that road trip up to Raleighwood to take on the Ice Pack, a team that the Gamecocks will be very familiar with by the end of this month. Joining them on the ice are the visitors from Tampa, Florida, coming up all the way from Florida, the Spartans, typically the class of College Hockey South, last year's tournament champions, usually the boogeyman for South Carolina. But ladies and gentlemen, last year in the AAU Nationals tournament in the semifinals, the Gamecocks took down the Spartans by a score of 6-4 en route to that 2024 AAU Division I National Championship. It's two great teams, two teams that don't like each other very much, but that's what you want to see out of the class of the conference. But these teams are not in first place, ladies and gentlemen. That belongs to the Tennessee Volunteers. So Tampa playing a little bit of catch-up. They've only played 8 games on the year. Meanwhile, the Gamecocks 1 game behind Tennessee in terms of games played, but they're right behind them in the points department. Your starting lineup for the South Carolina Gamecocks, on the blue line, it's the junior Brendan Flaherty, who's really started to heat up with 5 assists in his last couple games. And on the blue line, it's the freshman Kai Bonsukin, who has been outstanding as a puck handler and commanding that power play. Then your wingers, the center, Captain Jake Pushkar, the junior from Summit, New Jersey, 15 points on the year, 6 goals, 9 assists. Your associate captain, Marco Pineda, the senior with 6 points on the year from Charleston, South Carolina. And then from right around the corner in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, it's the senior other alternate captain, Nick Kay, with 10 points on the year, 5 goals, 5 assists. In net for the Gamecocks, it's the junior Tyler Tomoyan, 4-0-1 on the year with a 2.20 goals allowed average and a 9.29 save percentage. The junior from Royersford, Pennsylvania, has been nails from the Gamecocks, and he gets to start in between the pipes for a matchup most anticipated. Your opponents tonight for the Gamecocks, the Tampa Spartans, starting on the blue line for them. At number 18, Tim O'Connell, the junior defenseman. And then at number 13, their freshman defenseman, Braden Goiterman. On your wings for the Spartans, you have Ryan Andrews, the junior, with 14 points on the year, 4 goals, and 10 assists. And then number 77, Michael Schmelzer, the freshman, with 9 points. Then, kind of rounding things out, you have Jake Stepper, forward, sophomore, number 12. In net for the Spartans, it's Kyle Meyer, the junior, with a 2.70 goals allowed average, 9.11 save percentage, a 3-1-0 record. And, now I'm going to let myself breathe a little bit, folks, but both teams getting, warm-ups underway. And then, of course, we'll have the pregame festivities of the national anthem, starters being announced, though I already announced them here. But, this is normally where I'd bounce some fun facts off of a cohort or such. So just going to kind of let things breathe for a little bit. And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen. Warm-ups have concluded. Both teams going to patrol themselves at center ice for this one. Coach Sawa and company, a team that has struggled against Tampa in recent years. Before that showdown in the national semifinal tournament, they had not defeated Tampa since I've been here, which is, the start of the 2022 season. But it's a rivalry that runs deep. And it's something that I think people are going to be really excited for as we dim the lights here. They have to share a Home Depot bucket of pucks. It's a nice crowd here at the Plex. It's a typical standing room only audience. People wrapped all the way around. Another sellout for cock hockey. A big thing, I think, for Tampa, as they announce the starting lineups for the Spartans, is that they don't have a guy who scores everything. There's a lot of guys with around like 10 or 15 points. So they're a very balanced attack. They go deep, but their blue line does not score very often. They don't rack up many assists or goals. So that's something South Carolina will look, I think, to kind of hem things in and avoid shots from the point, because they know these guys aren't really looking to score. The one exception is number 44, Danny Griffin, the junior, who has 9 points on the year, 4 goals and 5 assists. Meanwhile, for the Gamecocks, of course, you have your heavy hitters. Number 25, John Riggins, the junior from Bethpage, New York, 24 points already on the year. He had 32 points total last year here, and in just 11 games, he has 13 goals and 11 assists for the Gamecocks. Other than that, it's a very balanced attack, much like Tampa. But you got a couple guys. Jake Pushkar, like I mentioned, has 15 points. Brendan Flaherty from the blue line has started to heat up. Garrett Albers has been very good as of late, getting up to 11 points. The Hanahan, South Carolina native. And, it's going to be really who comes up in these games. In these big games, it's usually someone like Jake Pushkar who's been around. But, personally, for South Carolina right now, someone who's been heating up, Ronan Mulcairn, a senior defenseman, one of the better defensemen in College Hockey South, and it speaks, I think, to the depth of this team that he's not starting with that first pair of defensemen. But I'm very excited to kind of see this as it goes underway. And as the starting lineups have been announced, we're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. And frankly, there's really nothing else to say after that other than, are you ready to do that hockey, ladies and gentlemen? We are moments away here from puck drop in the first period. Tyler Tomoy in the net for the Gamecocks. Kyle Meyer in for the Spartans. and with a huge weekend on tap for Gamecock athletics as a whole, as we kind of, move into November with college basketball season starting, both men's and women's coming off of fantastic years. Gamecock football still knocking on the door for a big-time bowl opportunity with a huge showdown versus number 10 Texas A&M tomorrow on homecoming. And now it's Cock Hockey, the defending national champions, taking on perhaps their biggest challenge of the season yet. NC State, very good. But when it comes to College Hockey South bragging rights and territory, it really comes down to beating Tampa. We're about to get underway here. They're taking their sweet time. Gamecocks adorned in the black helmets, black jerseys, black pants. Meanwhile, Tampa going with a black, white, black look with some nice socks. Tampa with their pregame, banging of the sticks on the side of the glass. We are underway with the Gamecocks coming away with the faceoff. They'll play it back to Flaherty. And Flaherty takes a huge hit at center ice, but he's able to get it over to Kay. Kay fires on, and it's smothered by Meyer. He'll freeze the puck. And so Flaherty there, absorbing a big hit to get a nice entry pass to his teammate. Face-off will be coming. Far side, stick side of Meyer. And the face-off won by Pushkar, gets it over to Kay. But Tampa's able to clear it. Flaherty gets back to it for the Gamecocks. He plays it up to Pineda, but Pineda loses it off his stick. It's deflected out all the way back into the Tampa zone. Hounding defense coming here from the Gamecocks. And Bonsukin gets that one chipped in off the stick of Marco Pineda as the Gamecocks will go for a change. It's John Riggins on the attack. And a turnover. Fired on. Myers, follow-up chance, goes wide. Puck kept in by the Gamecocks, but a quick stick from Tampa is able to clear it from their zone. 2-on-2 developing, but nice stick play there by the Gamecocks. That was Ronan Mulcairn who knocked it away. They'll chip it up all the way over to Sean Reed. Colin Reed. Sean Reed, his brother, no longer on the team. I make that mistake at least once a game. But Reed gets it over to Riccitelli. Riccitelli moves it up to Scove, or at least, and Scove with a masterful spinning evasion of a hit. He'll shoot it over to Mulcairn. Mulcairn up to Reed. Reed tries to play it off the boards, but Tampa doing a good job not letting South Carolina get the puck out of their own end. But the Gamecocks finally do. Tampa going for a change. Gamecocks looking to take advantage. It's chipped in. Colin Reed skating on now. He evades a hit but loses the puck in the process. And it's going back out to the blue line for Mulcairn. Finelli tried to play it in, but it was off a ref. A hit there just lodges puck from Spartan, but Tampa comes away with it. They've got it behind the net. Blooming now, circling. They play it over. Shot on, looking for a deflection. No good, no doing. Tomoyan plays it away. But Tampa forces a turnover. Gets it down. Forehand, backhand. They leave it for the slot. Fired on, wide. And a big hit on the boards, but South Carolina's able to clear it out. And now coming on was Tommy Locken. And now the Gamecocks, they can't touch it or else it would have been offside. Locken touches up, but Tampa with the puck now. Spartans carrying it in. They're going to move it around the boards. Big hit there, but Tampa's able to keep it in. Centering pass. Finds no one. Chipped up. Shot on, looking for a deflection. Couldn't find anyone but a Gamecock. And now it's Tommy Locken taking advantage of it. Locken skating. Now Locken fires is deflected by a skate of a Spartan. Kept in play. And the Gamecocks keep it in. Connor Berman plays it down now. Berman disrupting behind the play. Gamecocks still have it in. Centering pass. Shot wide. Tampa looking to clear now, but it's knocked down by Tommy Marvin. And that one, a hand pass is called. Play will stop with 16:52 remaining here in the first period. As DeBaby plays. Face-off coming outside of the Tampa zone, near side here. Matthew Winkleblick taking it on for the Gamecocks. It's one back by Tampa, however. Spartans now looking to get their first clean, puck zone entry. But the Gamecocks tie it up there. Gamecocks with it now back near their own goal line. Albers puts it on, cross-ice pass. Shot on, deflection, and it's caught by Meyer, not May. Clock stops with 16:26 to go. As the Gamecocks and Spartans will both go for a change after the puck was frozen by Meyer.
Meyer has made the most starts of any goalie for this Tampa squad, and has arguably been the best
in terms of extended shots faced. John Riggins on the faceoff, but he couldn't win it for the Gamecocks. And now here comes Tampa with it. They'll play it all the way down. No icing. Coming away with it is Mulcairn. Mulcairn tries to kick it to himself. It's a turnover behind the net. Spartans have it, but the stick is tied up. They get it back up to the blue line. Surveying now. And a attempted hit by Reed, wasn't able to get it away, but John Riggins now. Riggins has Reed to his right. Riggins moving on. Riggins surveying. Tried to pass it over to Scove, but he couldn't quite get it. Now Tampa with an opportunity on the rush. Moving in, backhanded shot, and he scores! Tampa strikes first here at the Plex with 15:51 remaining. A big shot by number 89, Nicholas Fontaine, the sophomore with his 10th goal of the season. And Tampa is up 1-0 off that little turnover. I mean, just a tough turn of events for the Gamecocks as they, looked like they had a little bit of a rush going, and then one thing breaks the other way, and just what a shot by Fontaine. He had the puck backhand. He just lifted it up over the shoulder of Tamoyan. Gamecocks win the faceoff, looking to regroup now. Brendan Flaherty with Kai Bonsukin. Bonsukin puts a nice move on. Pass up, but it's deflected, and Tampa comes away with it. They'll play it down into the Gamecock zone. And Flaherty tied up behind the net. Tampa playing some very high-pressure defense. Gamecocks now looking for something in transition, but a huge hit delivered by Brendan Flaherty at mid-ice. And then Kai Bonsukin puts a move on a Spartan. The Gamecocks look to come away with it. They're able to clear it, and here come the Gamecocks now with an opportunity. Far side, puck is deflected into the corner. Jake Pushkar had it. Gamecocks going for a little bit of change. And that puck leaks out of the South Carolina offensive zone. The Gamecocks will have to touch back up. Drew Henderson moving on now. He'll just rifle it. And it'll be Enzo Finelli getting to it for the Gamecocks. He absorbs a hit, but he can't quite corral the puck, and Tampa's able to clear it again. Tampa doing a really good job of keeping South Carolina from extended stays in the Tampa zone. I mean, the Gamecocks might get one kind of low-danger shot attempt, but other than that, they are just shoveling the puck out of there. They'll play it up to Tommy Locken here at center. And Locken moving in, he'll dump it in. Puck is frozen by Meyer. That actually ended up being kind of a shot on goal, but Meyer just freezes it with his pads. With 14:07 here to go in the first period. Faceoff is won, but deflected out, and a whistle will bring it back. That puck is won back from the faceoff just outside the South Carolina zone, and it is just chopped in there by Aiden Dunphy, the sophomore. Coming away with it on the boards, however, still is the Gamecocks. They get it back up to Dunphy on the blue line. He moves it over to Henderson. Henderson couldn't quite get it off his stick, but he's able to keep it in. Tried to just kind of shoot it on. He wasn't able to get it through the wickets. Gamecocks retain possession, and they'll get it down to Locken, who's trying to win the race, but he can't. Tampa looking to clear, and they do. They've got a man out in space. It's number 93, and a pass forward to number 4, Tyler Hagelberger, was just out of reach. He would have had an opportunity to extend this lead to 2-0. Now the Gamecocks, they clear it out. Hagelberger has it for Tampa. Josh Wilkins in pursuit for the Gamecocks, along with Connor Berman. Puck is behind the South Carolina net, and a turnover there. Tampa centering pass. Initial save by Tamoyan. Tamoyan saves again. Gamecocks looking to clear it. And they are not quite able to get it out, and now they do. Garrett Albers clears the puck. Tamoyan with 2 huge saves, sprawled out, and now the puck is picked away by Connor Berman. Tampa is still able to get it back, and then a big hit there on the glass. As both teams are just kind of exchanging possession in neutral ice. But a huge play by Tamoyan after he let in the early goal. He seems to have locked himself back in. Now skating up is the Spartans. That one's put on and deflected wide by Tamoyan. Another shot hits the post. Tommy Marvin circling around, nearly lost the puck, and he did. It's a turnover, centering pass off the skate of a Spartan. Matthew Winkleblack gets to it for the Gamecocks, and he's able to clear it out. South Carolina looking to go for a change. Ian Huver has to collect the puck for the Gamecocks. He gets it up to Mulcairn, but Mulcairn loses it. So the Gamecocks sloppy puck handling so far in this one. And it's led to some grade A opportunities for Tampa. You can get away with those when you're playing, the College of Charleston. But South Carolina has not been able to get away with it so far today against Tampa. A huge hit there. And I believe a penalty will be coming up. Trying to get a number here. I believe it is number 18.
It is indeed number 18 for the Gamecocks, Carson Scove, the junior center from Lawrenceville, New Jersey. 15 points on the year. And the Gamecock team that leads College Hockey South in penalty minutes is heading to the box again. I think that one's going to be interference. It was a little bit late. With 11:41 to go in the game, that's just not what you could afford to do if you were South Carolina. You concede an early goal. You concede early momentum, these big opportunities for Tampa, and now you give them an opportunity on the power play. I don't understand. That's just not a great move. They haven't been the most disciplined team so far this season, but there's plenty of time. Face-off coming, glove side of Tamoyan. It's kind of won back by Tampa. Now they'll set up on the power play. Shot on, deflected, saved by Tamoyan. Tamoyan doesn't know where the puck is. It's loose in the crease. The Gamecocks looking to clear it. Tampa looking to get a stick to it, and they can't. And the power play clock started late on the scoreboard. Gamecocks still looking to clear it out. A Spartan lost his stick. Colin Reed. And that one, Tampa's not able to keep it in. A self-inflicted error there has saved at least the Gamecock penalty kill for a little bit. Tampa re-enters the zone, however, and they're able to keep it in. Surveying now. They lose the puck. Tried to clear it out, but it's got it to a stick of a Spartan. Gamecocks with it now, and they can't even get that one the length of the ice. He was tied up by Alex Moeller for Tampa. John Riggins tried to clear it out, but Moeller took him down. No call on the play. We've hit 1:15 to go here on the power play for Tampa. Both teams going for changes. Tampa with their power play too. They're moving in, cycling in. That pass is deflected. Ben Riccitelli looking to get to it. Gamecocks, Tommy Locking couldn't leave Tamoyan just alone out in front, and Tampa's able to get to the puck. That one's down near far side faceoff circle. They get it back up to the point. Moving on in now is Tampa. They're surveying. Centering pass. No one was home, but they're still able to collect it. Then a deflected pass, and South Carolina is able to clear it. They were trying to work it down, and Tommy Locken got his stick to it. And now Tampa has to reset. 35 seconds remain on the penalty kill. 10 minutes to go in the first period. That's a pass that's deflected. Coming away with is Brendan Flaherty. And I think we're getting a high stick call. The puck was played with a high stick. So that'll move a face-off into the Carolina zone with 29 seconds remaining on the power play. 9:56 to go. Well, they're trying to figure it out if it's in the zone or if it's... I guess we'll find out. Okay, face-off will be coming just in front of me here. Outside the South Carolina zone, near side face-off dot. Taking the stand for the Gamecocks is Tommy Locken. It'll be Alex Moeller opposite him for the Spartans. 29 seconds left on the power play. Gamecocks get to the face-off. It's Brendan Flaherty. They got a 2-on-1. Flaherty moving. Flaherty gets it over to Hoover, but he can't get a stick to it. And now Tampa with a shot off the rush. But great stick play by South Carolina, and it's offsides. They disrupted the puck just enough to where Tampa went offsides. And now with 12 seconds remaining on the power play for the Spartans, they're going to have to take a face-off outside the South Carolina zone. Tampa going with a partial line change here on the power play with 12 seconds to go. Face-off won by Carolina. They're going to look to just play keep away, I say, as they launch it the full length of the ice. And Meyer will freeze it. So with 4 seconds left of power play time, it'll be a face-off coming in the South Carolina offensive zone. They'll be getting reinforced in just 4 seconds after the puck is dropped. And the puck is won over, and it jumps the stick of Brendan Flaherty. Coming away with it now is Tampa. They've got a 2-on-1. Tamoyan with the save, but it goes right back to a Tampa player. Puck deflected on a pass. They get up to the blue line. Surveying. Fired from the slot, save Tamoyan. Now Tampa surveying again. That one's knocked down. Gamecocks get out with it, but they can't clear it. Tampa with opportunity here. They got numbers. But a great stick deflection on a pass, and the Gamecocks coming away with it now. It's Nick Kay moving into the Tampa zone. He tries a cross-ice pass to Pineda, but he couldn't find his teammate. They get it down to the captain, Pushkar. Pushkar looking. He'll put it up the boards to Flaherty. Flaherty puts it on, looking for deflection. Saved by Meyer. Centering pass from Kay, and now going the other way is Tampa with an opportunity, but they will say no and go for the line change. No icing. Gamecocks tried to take advantage of the line change, but couldn't quite get communicated. And that one's deflected into the Tampa zone. No icing. Now South Carolina will go for a change. And a Tampa player forgot the puck with his stick. And now Enzo Finelli jumps on it. Finelli skating on. He absorbs a hit, but he's dislodged from the puck. Tampa will play it up the boards. And the Gamecocks can't keep it in. Jumped the stick there of Drew Henderson. Played back for Henderson. He'll get it up the boards to Locken, who chips it into the Tampa zone. Moving on now is Finelli. Finelli over to Wilkins. Wilkins tied up on the boards. Tampa looking to come away with it. Maybe had a case for a tripping penalty there, but nothing doing. Drew Henderson will just play it back in, but it hits a ref. We've seen several shots hit refs tonight. Gamecocks back with possession. They'll get it over to Henderson. 7:38 to go here in the first period. He'll play it up to Josh Wilkins. Wilkins surveying. Wilkins whiffs on a shot in the slot. They'll play it back behind the net, looking for somebody. Wilkins gets to it. Wilkins gets it, tries to get it back behind the net, but he can't. It comes out to Mulcairn here at the blue line. Gamecocks trying to chip it in, go for a change. Both teams are. A little over 7 minutes to play here in the first period. A takedown in front of the Tampa net, wields no whistle. The Spartans looking to just kind of tic-tac-toe their way up here, and they do. They get an entry pass there, but a great stick tie-up by Ronan Mulcairn ends that threat as quickly as it initialized. And then Mulcairn with a big poke check there again. Gamecocks they've adjusted to how Tampa's entering the zone, but then a turnover there. John Riggins loses it, but he gets it back off the turnover, and he'll clear it from the Carolina zone. And a takedown there, Riggins on number 21 for the Spartans. Cole Valise. Puck all the way back in the Tampa zone. Gamecocks try to knock it down. It was deflected, so there will be no icing. Mulcairn moves it over. Whiffs on that one. Tampa able to keep it in, but the Gamecocks recover. Moves it up to Mulcairn. Mulcairn can't quite get a good stick on it. And Pushkar now hounding them behind their own net. Gamecocks going for a change. And that puck is kind of listlessly played. Marco Pineda looking for it, but now Tampa with an opportunity, 2-on-1 after the pass. He moves, fires, and it's shot and scored off the pass. He passed up a good shot for a great shot to his teammate, number 5, Billy McCann. His 4th goal of the season. And McCann puts the Spartans up 2-0 here with 5:46 to go. Just a shocking display by South Carolina in the puck handling department. They've been brutal. Face-off coming at center ice is the Gamecocks now. looking to at least net one goal in this comeback effort before the end of the first. Puck won back by Tampa. And it'll jump the stick of a Spartan, so Tommy Marvin will get to it for the Gamecocks. Gets it up to Nick Kay. Kay looking to generate a breakout. He does chip it into the zone, but he just can't quite get anything going. The Gamecocks, they can't even deliver their patented big hits on the boards at center ice. There's a pass to no one but a Tampa Bay Spartan. And now it'll be Pushkar trying to play it out, but he can't. Tampa had such a good play, they didn't even realize they had it. And that was a almost really good pass, but it didn't have quite enough air under it. It was intercepted at center ice by a Spartan. Alternate captain Ryan Andrews nearly had one of the best opportunities of his life, but he didn't realize his teammate had stolen the puck and passed it to him. Now Nick Kay looking to generate a turnover. He can't. Ian Hoover chips it over. Getting over to it is Winkleblick. They can't play it in. It's shot on down to May, and he'll freeze it. So South Carolina with an opportunity here for an offensive zone draw. Subbing on Kay Bonsukin, Brendan Flaherty, Garrett Albers, Connor Berman, and Matthew Winkleblick for this one. And the Gamecocks just have not imposed their offensive will at all in this first period. They have not generated good looks. They have not had extended stays in the offensive zone. All their shots have kind of been off the rush, low danger chances. And they're going to look to rectify that going into this first intermission as a whistle and a penalty. Played with a high stick by South Carolina. For half a second, I thought they were about to hit Kai Bonsukin with a high sticking call. But it'll just bring a face-off here. Far side face-off circle in the South Carolina zone. 4:31 to go here in the first period. Tampa leads 2-0. And that puck is deflected out of play off the stick of Brendan Flaherty. And Flaherty starting something a little extra after the play with Justin Evans, the graduate student alternate captain, who has 8 goals, 7 assists on the season. Face-off coming once again. Far side face-off circle in the South Carolina zone. Winkleblick wins back the face-off for Carolina. He gets it up to Albers. Albers looking to chip it in. Connor Berman can't quite get wood on it. And Tampa clears it. South Carolina does come away. Winkleblick just rifles it into the zone. Berman chasing on after it. Albers coming up. He tries to collect it off the boards, but Tampa will clear. Does this one have the link for icing? It does not. Brendan Flaherty gets to it. Flaherty over to Bonsukin. Bonsukin gets it over to Albers, who almost turns it over. Evans hounding the Gamecocks in their own zone. Flaherty makes a nice move. That one's chopped down. Very active sticks on the defensive end for Tampa, but that one's shot on, saved by Meyer, and we'll get another face-off. But that's another example of these kind of just low-event chances for South Carolina. They're just kind of firing it on net. They're looking to establish something off a face-off, but they haven't been winning these face-offs in the Tampa zone. 3:37 remains in the first period here. The Gamecocks looking to at least generate some positive momentum going into the break after falling behind 2-0. And that one is kept in by the Gamecocks, but not for long. Tampa will play it out. And they've got men on the run. Toe drag shot is deflected into oblivion. And that faceoff will come in the South Carolina zone with 3:26 to go. If you're just now joining us, Tampa scored first about 6 minutes in off the stick of Nicholas Fontaine, number 89, the sophomore forward, his 10th goal of the season. And then just now, 5:46 to go in the first, it was McCann off the stick of him, making it 2-0. The Gamecocks looking to win that faceoff. Coming away with it, however, is Tampa. Fires on and he scores! Tampa goes up 3-0 off the stick of Joey DeAngelis, the junior forward, his 4th goal of the season. They won that. Their sticks were tied up on the faceoff circle. And Tamoyan just had no idea where the puck was. It came away to DeAngelis, and he just rifled it top corner. Face-off coming at center ice for a South Carolina team that is just kind of stunned right now. I mean, they have not, this is not an unheard of deficit this season. They trailed the Georgia Bulldogs 3-0. But Tampa is just looking like a completely different team as there's another turnover at the neutral zone. Moving on is Tampa, but the puck is played away. Tampa will have to regroup. 3 minutes remain here in the first period of South Carolina is looking to just get out of here and stop the bleeding at this point. They get it over to Ronan Mulcairn. Mulcairn plays it across the ice. Gamecock's looking to get something out now. It's Colin Reed skating in, and Colin Reed makes a move, but he loses the puck. Gamecock's looking for anything in the offensive zone. Ronan Mulcairn will keep it in at the blue line, but it's down to a Spartan. And the Spartans are coming away with it. There's a pass up. Moving on now is the Spartans. They've got the speed on the edge. He loses it, trying to play it back for somebody. Ben Riccitelli got to it. And now an opportunity for the Gamecocks. It's John Riggins. John Riggins breaking out. He's got Colin Reed to his right. Riggins toe drags, fires, deflected wide and up and out of play by Meyer. 2:13 remain here in the first period. And we've got some extracurriculars after the whistle. John Riggins and his uniform is kind of jumbled up, but I think it's number 89, Nicholas Fontaine. Faceoff will be coming at the far side faceoff circle, stick side of Meyer. And that one is won away by Tampa. They're just going to hold it. Go cross ice with it. Danny Griffin, the captain, the junior defenseman, had it. That puck is deflected way up out of play. 1:56 remain here in the first period. And much like the team, the denizens of the Plex are kind of in a stunned silence right now. 1:56 to go here. Face-off coming for Tampa in the South Carolina zone. It's won away by the Gamecocks. Tommy Marvin gets to it. Nick Kay fires that one up and out of play. And I wasn't sure if they were going to get him for delay a game on that one, but it looks like not. It wasn't up and over the glass. It was up and into the rafters. Face-off coming far side now. Which is not really a place where they've hammered Tyler Tomoyan from. It's mostly been stick side or in the slot. But Tampa still looking for another goal in this disastrous first period for the Gamecocks. Tommy Marvin looked to break out with it, but he was sandwiched by Spartans right after he exited his own zone. Ian Huver plays it over. 1:25 to go here in the first. And Tampa is playing very aggressively on defense. That one misses a stick on a pass. It'll go down and icing will be waved off. But the Spartans will still come away with it. They're looking to play it up. Back behind the net, they go for a change. 1 minute to go here in the first period. The Gamecocks, one last opportunity here to try and generate something offensively. And they shoot it directly into the chest of a Spartan. And the puck is cleared. 45 seconds remain here in the first period. Carson Scove over to Tommy Marvin. And now moving on to Scove. Scove tried to get it over to Riggins, but it was just out in front. Back to Scove, a bouncing puck goes over the net. And now Tampa will clear it all the way up and over, and it will not have icing. That one is chipped into the Tampa zone. 22 seconds to go here in the first period. Gamecocks looking to keep it in. They do, but nobody can get a stick to it, and it drifts across the blue line. 13 seconds remain. South Carolina has to touch it up. Flaherty tries to play it down. A Tampa Bay player just destroys him. I keep saying Tampa Bay because Tampa's really playing like they're the Lightning right now. And the final seconds will tick off here in the first period. And South Carolina trails 3-0 at the end of the first. So, they're not really, it's not really on Tyler Tomoyan. These are tough opportunities with no defenders out in front. Tampa has owned the crease. They've been screening like crazy. And this is truly just a shocking display in the first period for South Carolina. They head to the locker room first. Tampa's moving over second. And they're going to have to dig deep, just like they did against Georgia. This is not uncharted territory for the Gamecocks. But the work starts now. We're going to take a quick break for the intermission. We'll be back for the second period of action here from the Plex.
And here come the Gamecocks for the second period of action between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Tampa Spartans. A big-time College Hockey South matchup here. But, folks, one team has footed the billing, the other one has not. Through 20 minutes of action, the Tampa Bay, I keep saying Tampa Bay because they look like the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's how good they've been. The Tampa Spartans have been dominant. They have rejected all attempts by South Carolina to set up in the offensive zone. They have limited high-danger chances on goal, and they have hounded South Carolina in their own net. 3 goals in the first for Tampa. The first came about 6 minutes in, off the stick of Nicholas Fontaine, his 10th of the season. And then the second goal came with 5:46 to go in the first. So there was a little bit of a lull where it was just 1-0, and South Carolina just could not get anything going. And then really kind of the dam broke towards the end of the first with McCann getting a second goal to put Tampa up 2-0 with 5:46 to go. And then it was DeAngelis, Joey DeAngelis, his 4th goal of the season. Some other people have looked really good for the Spartans. Captain Danny Griffin, alternate captains Justin Evans, and Ryan Andrews. Meanwhile, for the Gamecocks, Tyler Tomoyan has been left out to dry on multiple occasions with some tough opportunities. He just would have had to been superhuman to stop. And he's made some other superhuman saves, so he's really kept this game from getting well out of hand. This is not the first 3-0 deficit the Gamecocks have faced this season. Their only tie so far of the year came from a game where they came back from down 3-0 to force overtime against the University of Georgia. And in a game against another red, white, and black College Hockey South powerhouse, the Gamecocks find themselves in a similar position. They win the faceoff to start the second period, and we are underway here from the Plex as the Gamecocks look for another comeback. Skating it on now and firing it on is the Gamecocks. Enzo Finelli gets the rebound. He puts it on, but it's behind the net. Keeping it in is Kai Bonsukin, but it jumps the stick of Finelli, and it's played up and not out of play. It will be back. No icing. Tampa wins the race down. Spartans centering pass. Goal line shot. Missed wide. No follow-up attempt, but the Tampa Spartans keep it in on the blue line. They fired it on. No deflection. Easy save for Tyler Tomoyan. So Tomoyan ready early, but the Gamecocks looked like they had a good shot there, and then it all derailed. And that's been the story of this game so far for the Gamecocks. They just have not been able to get any sustained success. At the first glimmer of hope, it all comes crashing down like a hastily fastened house of cards. Tampa wins the faceoff, but that puck is deflected into the nether realm. So we'll return to the faceoff dot. And for South Carolina, it all starts with getting guys like John Riggins going, your spark plug. 13 goals on the season, which leads the team. But also, I mean, your blue line has been relatively quiet offensively. The Gamecocks have just not had any possessions where they set up and hammer it from the blue line looking for deflections. Meanwhile, Tampa looking for a deflection out in front. Follow-up chance goes wide. Still have it. They shoot it on. Tomoyan covers it and saves it. So not even a minute in, and Tampa has gotten 3 shots on Tyler Tomoyan. And South Carolina will look to clear. Jumped the gun on the faceoff there a little bit, both players. They do it again. And now we've kicked some out of the faceoff dot. I think that is Carson Scove who got kicked out for the Gamecocks. It's won back by South Carolina and chipped out of play, or chipped out of the zone all the way down to goal. Played away by Meyer. Kyle Meyer, who's been locked in this game. The few shots on goal South Carolina's had, he has smothered them with ease. Now South Carolina looking to ramp up the pressure defensively. They do dislodge the puck there, but they can't get anyone to it. And now Tampa with an opportunity all the way down. Tomoyan will leave the crease to play the puck. And South Carolina comes away with it. They have a chance now. Off a collision. A pass up, but it jumps the stick of Colin Reed, who couldn't quite get on it. Roden Mulcairn working it back now. He's being hounded by a Spartan. That's number 3, Alex Moeller. Now the Gamecocks get it up to Carson Scove, who tries to whip it cross ice to Jake Pushkar, but he couldn't quite get a stick on it. That one's deflected into the Carolina zone. Mulcairn gets to it fast. He'll play it kind of softly over.
And there's the Gamecocks, when they get these passes, they just can't keep it on the stick. Albers loses the puck. He shot his stick, but he forgot the puck to go with it. And now Tampa will chip it on out. They're going to try and play it off the rush. Ben Riccitelli racing back for the Gamecocks. But Tampa with an imposing forecheck. They get the puck on the boards. And they're able to get it out of there. They'll swing it up to the blue line. Get it down to the faceoff circle. Backhanded shoveling pass behind the net, and South Carolina just doesn't get the stick on the puck. And now he loses his stick. Carolina able to clear it, however. And here come the Gamecocks. Connor Berman plays it back for Dunphy. He shoots it on Meyer with a save. Garrett Albers couldn't quite get his stick to deflect it out in front, but it's still a tricky play. Now a face-off will come in the Tampa zone with 17:14 remaining. So really maybe the best line so far for the Gamecocks has included Dunphy. Dunphy, Kay, Pushkar, Pineda, Drew Henderson on the blue line joining Dunphy, and the Gamecocks lose it off the faceoff. They have to touch back up. I mean, that's just what it's been. It's hard to commentate. Nick Kay, however, he jumps on a bad pass. He's stuck up from behind. Just tied up there. Now Tampa looking to capitalize. Dunphy ties up the stick. Getting to it is Pushkar, trying to get it back. And the Gamecocks get it off the board, but Tampa wrestles it away. Shot from the slot, hits a stick. Another following chance, hits a skate. Gamecocks now coming away with it. It's Aiden Dunphy. Dunphy spinning shot. He just gets it into the zone. Nick Kay tries to capitalize off of it. And they do. The Gamecocks have a chance. Moving on. Pass. Forehand, backhand. He shoots. Meyer with the save. Goes back to the Gamecocks. Pineda has it. He gets it down below the net to Pushkar. And a penalty is coming up. And it'll be a penalty, I believe, on Tampa. Yes, it'll be number 4, Tyler Hagelberger, heading to the box. I wasn't quite sure what happened. It was behind the play, so either interference or maybe a high sticking. But a great opportunity here now for the Gamecocks. With 16:22 remaining in the second period, they go on a 2-minute power play, something they've been very good at this year. They lead the College Hockey South in power play goals. Although that faceoff was initially won by Tampa, the Gamecocks raced to it and got it. They get it over to Pineda. Pineda surveying. He moves it on over to the slot for Marvin. Marvin looking on now. Marvin chips it on down back to Pineda. Pineda's got Reed on front. That one's shot on and it's blocked. And that one jumps a couple sticks, but Pushkar gets it back up to the blue line. Back down to Pushkar. Back up to Marvin at the point. Marvin fakes it. Pineda puts it on, and it hits the pad of Meyer. Back over to Marvin. Now Pineda back over to the far side. Scove gets it over to Marvin. Marvin looking. Marvin back to Pineda. This pass back up to Pineda at the point. 1:11 remaining. Gamecocks, they get it down to the goal line. Moving it around. Marvin. Pineda. Deflected. Can't get a stick to it. Gamecocks keep it in, though. Over to Pineda. Pineda plays it down. Reed has it. Reed gets it back up to Marvin at the point. Marvin fires it on wide of the net. Reed trying to get to it to keep it in, and he does. Pineda can't quite get his stick on it, but he plays it back to Reed. 45 seconds left on the power play. Tommy Marvin back at the blue line. Marvin looking. He gets over to the slot. He moves over to Scove. Scove puts it on wide of the net. Spartans unable to clear. Marvin with it back at the blue line. Marvin skating in. Marvin gets it over, and Scove lost the puck. But a Spartan loses his stick, sprawling out for it, so the Gamecocks with an even better opportunity. They get to Marvin at the point. Marvin moves it down. Tic-tac-toe attempt. They get it cross ice. Marvin back with it. Marvin puts it on in a flying body from a Spartan, and they're finally able to clear it with 15 seconds to go. The Gamecocks, with easily their most inspired pace of play so far, and nothing doing. One last chance. That one's shot on, deflected. Follow-up chance, backhand. It's blocked away by a stick of a Spartan. Nick Kay still with it behind the net. The power play is expired. Kai Bonsukin has it. He gets it down. Tampa's able to clear it, and they have a breakaway chance. They have a 3-on-0.
Tampa skating in. They move it on. Tamoyan, he's able to kind of direct it away. Tamoyan comes up big. And now the Gamecocks with an opportunity. Tommy Locken racing in. He's got Finelli. Locken, forehand, backhand, and it goes wide of the net. Sticks are flying everywhere. I don't know what's happening. Finelli trying to keep it in for the Gamecocks. Tampa with it now. They'll look to settle it down. But that one's going to go the length of the ice, and it will be icing. So face-off will come all the way back down to the Tampa zone. And look, just like that, over 6 minutes have gone away in this second period. That power play, that was South Carolina hockey. I mean, they were just passing it around. Maybe they should have pulled the trigger a couple more times, but they kept the pressure on. The pressure was mounting. I mean, but that was, on the flip side, that was what Tampa inspires themselves to be. They were diving at the ground to block pucks. They were throwing their sticks all over the place to disrupt passes. I mean, they were sprawled out. It was absurd. Face-off, one back by Tampa. They'll look to clear it. And they are able to get it out. No, they'll keep it in. South Carolina, now they'll whistle it offside. Just barely trickled over the blue line. And face-off will come outside the Tampa zone. I mean, Meyer was on point. He faced several shots there and deflected them wide. But the defense of Tampa to just consolidate and pack it in and block every shooting lane possible. Gamecocks win the face-off back. And that one's played down. Carson Scove looking to get to it. That one's up the boards. South Carolina, can they keep it in? Yes, they can. It's back down to Scove. Scove loses the puck, fights for it on the boards. They go down. Gamecocks get back to it, but the pass was a little too much on it. Ben Riccitelli will skate back. Tamoyan will play it. Riccitelli looking to get it up. He gets it over to Pushkar, but it's deflected by Tampa. Haven't seen anything from Zach List in this game. Interesting to see what's going on with him. Puck fought for behind the Carolina net. Coming away with it is Colin Reed. And a down Spartan behind the net. And Meyer had to play that one. He was looking to see if he could kind of avoid it for icing. But a nice long game there from the Gamecocks. And that'll bring a face-off down to the... Ben Riccitelli is hitting the locker room. I'm unsure what happened there. Maybe an equipment malfunction. But the Gamecocks are down one of their best defensemen for the foreseeable future. The Smithfield, Rhode Island native, junior defenseman, usually paired up with Ronan Mulcairn. First line on the, well, they've blurred it now, but you have Kai Bonsukin and Brendan Flaherty at the blue line. Carson Scove, Jake Pushkar, and Marco Pineda on for the Gamecocks. Gamecocks tried to get it back up to the blue line. They couldn't. Bonsukin plays it off the glass. Carson Scove will come away with it, trying to just get it to somebody. The hounding stick of the Spartans. And now a whistle. And a penalty coming up. Holding on Tampa. It will be another penalty coming up to the Tampa Spartans. This one on Billy McCann, the goal scorer there in the first period, the junior forward. He will hit the box, and it'll be another 2-minute power play for the Gamecocks to try and tack on their first goal of this contest. On the ice for the Gamecocks, Tommy Locken, Brendan Flaherty, Kai Bonsukin, I think Nick Kay, and Enzo Finelli. That one's chipped up. Bonsukin gets it behind the net. Finelli couldn't get his stick to it. Locken ties it up on the boards. Finelli can't get it away cleanly. And now Tampa's going to try and bleed some clock. That one's played up. Bonsukin absorbed it with his body. And now racing in is Colin Reed. A ref got in the way. The ref is still down. A Tampa player just hit the ice. Moving on now is South Carolina. They had a chance out in front, deflected wide by Meyer. Plays it down to the goal line. 1:19 remaining on the power play. Flaherty moving it down. Flaherty backhanded chance wide of the net. Finelli gets to it for South Carolina. 1:10 remaining on the power play. They get up to Flaherty. Flaherty looking. Flaherty from the slot. He puts it on. Save Meyer. He's on his back. The puck is loose in the crease, and they'll whistle it dead. Meyer made the initial save and then just sprawled out to cover the puck. 1:03 remaining on the power play. Ben Riccitelli is back from the locker room. Maybe it was a gloves thing. Gamecocks going with some personnel changes here now. Tommy Marvin, Colin Reed, Carson Scove, Marco Pineda, and Jake Pushkar on the ice for South Carolina. Marvin, he was the quarterback of that first power play. And now the faceoff will come near side, stick side for Meyer. 1:03 to go on the man advantage for South Carolina. And that one was tied up. South Carolina will retain possession. Tommy Marvin with it near side. Marvin surveying. Played it down to Reed, who got it back up to Marvin. Marvin over to Scove. He evades a defender. He shoots, he scores! South Carolina with a power play goal. And they are on the board, ladies and gentlemen. With 48 seconds on the man advantage, South Carolina has put themselves right back in this one, cutting the deficit to 3-1. And that faceoff is won by Tampa, looking to get that goal back. Tamoyan comes out of his crease. Tamoyan with a save off the rebound chance that hit the boards. So South Carolina, they're going to try and turn that, they got two wonderful power play opportunities. They finally cashed in on the second one. Now on 5-on-5 hockey, can they start to generate some chances? Tampa has it up at the blue line. They'll get it down, one-timer from the point. Gamecocks looking to corral it behind their own net. They do. They chip it out all the way down. That's going to be icing. So with 10:41 to go, the puck will come all the way back to the South Carolina end of things. And, for South Carolina, you would love to score as many goals as possible. But if you can get one more here before the break, you feel really good about your chances in a one-goal game heading into the third. That one is cleared. Tampa has to touch up. And the Gamecocks moving it down. That one is played to the goalie. He has to play it, so no icing. 10:30 to go here in the second period. Attempt at a breakout pass is denied by the Gamecocks. Tampa trying to skate it in. South Carolina is denying that blue line really well with their sticks. And as that one is shot out of play, face-off will come back to neutral ice. Yeah, South Carolina is denying the blue line really well right now. They are shutting down everything Tampa tries to do. They're not getting any clean puck carries in the zone. And now South Carolina. Matthew Winkleblack will fight for his life to get that puck, and he does, and he dives to keep it in the zone. Winkleblack putting on a masterclass here. Gamecocks able to keep it in. They get it down. Berman couldn't quite get his skate to it to knock it down. Winkleblack still has it, though. He gets it behind the net. Berman has it. He's got Albers out in front. Berman plays it up the boards. And that one is an errant pass intended for Berman. 9:40 to go here in the second. Garrett Albers tying him up on the boards. Coming away with it is Berman. Berman surveying. He'll get up to Dunphy at the blue line. Dunphy goes cross ice. That one's shot down, and a glove snave by Meyer. He snagged that one out of the air with 9:27 to go in the second period. I completely forgot that the Knicks were playing. Did we win? Oh my God, yes, by 30. That's good. Go Knicks, baby. Sorry, when it's just me, I kind of start to lose my mind. Gamecocks win the faceoff, however. And they try a shot on goal. No deflection out in front. Meyer made the quick save, but the rebound chance, Gamecock couldn't get a stick to it. Tampa will clear it, but South Carolina, Dunphy will have it. Dunphy carries it in. Pickpocketed by Tampa. But a great play in center ice nullifies that chance for the Tampa Bay Spartans. I'm going to stop saying Tampa Bay at one point. Drew Henderson with it now for the Gamecocks. He'll chip it back behind his own net. And he lost the puck. Aiden Dunphy lost the puck for a second. Tampa almost with a A1 opportunity. That one's played up. South Carolina with an odd-man rush. They're moving on. Tries to deke him out, but keeping it in is Josh Wilkins. Walt Wilkins will fire it around the boards to Dunphy. Dunphy deflected off of his stick weird. And thankfully, Tommy Locken for the Gamecocks is there. But Tampa was still with a chance off the rush. He'll play it back. They'll shoot it on wide. And that one's going to ring around the boards all the way back out to center ice before Tampa takes it back into their own zone. That one's played back out to center ice by a Gamecock stick. There's Drew Henderson for a second. Now the Gamecocks with a chance. Aiden Dunphy carrying it in. He went backhand with it, and Finelli, he would have had him backdoor, but Finelli went a little bit early. Had to tech back up. Now Tampa looking to kind of get around. And it's a tie-up on the boards. Coming away with it is Enzo Finelli. Finelli attempted a cross-ice pass, denied. He still clears it out, though. And now coming all the way over to it is Tommy Locken. And Locken with the harassing defense in the Tampa zone. That pass is shot down in center ice by a Gamecock. And here comes South Carolina with it. Attempt at a centering pass to Tommy Locken, found nothing. 7:25 to go here in the second period. Gamecocks do keep it in there, but Flaherty couldn't get it on his stick. He did deliver a punishing blow, however, to number 9, Jacob Penetrante. Gamecocks keep it in. Tommy Locken has it far side. And it's whistled down for a hand pass. That's bizarre. I didn't see a hand move. What about you, cameraman Doug? He shrugs. That was your chance, Doug. You could have been an epic color commentator. Oh well. That one is chipped down into the Carolina zone. Gamecocks get to it behind their own net. And Carson Scove, interesting deflection there. He almost lost it. That one is rifled. Tamoyan lost it on the rebound chance, and he just smothers it. He leapt onto it himself. 6:47 to go here in the second period. Face-off will be coming near side face-off circle in the Carolina zone. Taking the face-off for the Spartans, we number 29, Robbie Seawagon. And an infraction on the face-off. We'll do that all over again. And that face-off is won back by Carolina. The Gamecocks moving with it now. They'll play it back behind their own net. Tied up on the boards. Tampa looking to come away with it. And South Carolina escapes the scrum. That one's off the boards. Tommy Locken, 2-on-1 chance. He gets it through. He moves on. He shoots Meyer with the initial save. Puck still loose behind the net. Kept in by Ian Hoover. Colin Reed moving on it now. Reed with a big hit. Now it's Carson Scove back there for the Gamecocks. Reed and Scove getting to it very nicely. But Tampa finally able to escape with some breathing room. A nice entry pass there. Centering pass goes wide. I don't know if it really got deflected. South Carolina coming away with it. They'll play it all the way up the boards. That one's going to go down and will be icing. With 5:51 to go here in the second period, it's going to go all the way back to the South Carolina zone. But South Carolina, I mean, it would be hard to look. It would be hard to look worse than they did in the first period, but they look so much better here in the second. You know, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall when Coach Sawa and company kind of tore into them after the first period or whatever they do to kind of get guys right. But
The road to a comeback starts with that first goal, and the Gamecocks got it on the power play with 11-12 to go here in this second. That shot goes over the net, and Carson Scove gets it out before he's obliterated. Tommy Marvin tried to skate it as a one-man army. Pushkar moves it over. Gamecocks looking to escape their own zone. They get it up to Pushkar, who played it down. Albers coming in now. And Tampa's able to clear it, but it comes out to Connor Berman at center ice. Berman takes a late hit. That one's chipped into the Tampa zone. South Carolina coming away with it, 5:10 remaining here. Winklebleck plays it back to Albers. Big hit there behind the net, and the puck leaked out in front, but nobody for Carolina was there to see it. And then an attempt at a clear hit the rafters. And so with 4:59 to go in the second period, face-off is going to come back here in the Tampa Bay zone. Gamecocks going for some wholesale changes here. It's Brendan Flaherty and Kai Bonsukin on the blue line, Matthew Winklebleck, Garrett Albers, and Connor Berman. Under 5 to go here for the second period at the Plex. Tampa leads 3-1. They scored 3 goals in the first period. That one's knocked down. Albers attempted a centering pass to Berman. He couldn't quite get enough on it. It's kept in. South Carolina didn't realize it. Now they'll have to tag up. Winklebleck almost went into the bench, and then a huge hit. Tampa wants a penalty. They will get it. It's a delayed call. I mean, that's going to be, I think, an interference, but it seemed like it was pretty close to bang, bang. But the hand goes up, and South Carolina will go on the penalty kill. Special teams brought South Carolina their first goal of the game. It could bring them a second. The Gamecocks have been very good on the penalty kill, scoring shorthanded goals this year. Of course, it's going to be a much taller task to do that against the Spartans. Something that's quite shocking so far is that South Carolina has had 2 penalties, or 2 power plays in this game, as Tampa has the fewest penalty minutes in College Hockey South D1. Now this power play will start in the Carolina zone, far side face-off circle. It's dropped down and won by Tampa. They'll set up. But Brendan Flaherty gets to it. He'll rifle it around the boards. Kept in by Tampa. Moving on down. They get it down on the goal line. Tamoy with the save. Puck goes behind the net. Nobody could really see where the puck was, but it's finally ripped around the boards, but it's kept in by Tampa. That one jumped a stick. Josh Wilkins trying to get over to it. Wilkins knocks it down at Spartan, and the Gamecocks are going to clear it and even come away with it, try and raise some time. Now Kai Bonsukin has a 2-on-1 developing, but he fell down. Tommy Locken took a spill. Oh, Bonsukin had a no-look dish that would have hit him perfectly if he hadn't fallen down. And now Tampa is responding on the power play. They put it on, deflected out by Tamoyan, and cleared by the Gamecocks. Meyer leaves his crease to play it. Little over a minute to go on the power play. 3.5 minutes to go in the period. And the Gamecocks just going to clear this one down again. Someone lost a stick somewhere. There's a tough hit, and Tommy Locken is down. Tommy Locken is down. He's holding something. He's skating under his own power, though. It kind of looked like he was grabbing at his knee at first, which was terrifying. But Locken is under his own power. He's skating to the bench. 47 seconds remain in the power play for Tampa. 3:13 remain in the period. Colin Reed taking the faceoff for the Gamecocks. And he initially won it, but it got tied up. 40 seconds to go on the power play. 3:06 remain in the period. South Carolina being very aggressive. And Connor Berman gave his life to disrupt that pass. And Tampa kind of looks in disarray right now. Ben Riccitelli disrupts it. And that one is cleared all the way out. Connor Berman all the way down there for the Gamecocks. There's 20 seconds remain on the Tampa man advantage. And they have time for one last rush, but they'll have to check up. They were offsides. South Carolina can take out the remaining time on this penalty kill. They'll play at the length of the ice as the final seconds tick away. A masterful penalty kill by the South Carolina Gamecocks. 2:25 remain in the second period as they look to draw it ever closer to tying this one. A Spartan went down. They wanted a penalty. They didn't get it, but South Carolina has to be careful. The puck is leaking in, and Tamoyen will just cover it up. Kind of a chaotic play brewing there, and Tamoyen whips out his fire extinguisher. Everything settled down. 2:11 remains in the period. I don't even know what I was about to say. I think I almost said 2 minutes remaining in the penalty. Face-off coming, near side face-off circle in the Carolina zone. Glove side of Tamoyen. Gamecocks come away with it. They'll chip it all the way over. Nick Kay looking to get to it, and he does. Nick Kay. A little over 2 minutes to go. Gamecocks looking to set it up, but Kay lost it off his stick. Now coming away with it on the Spartans. They got a 3-on-2 if they push. Lost it. Back behind the net. Aiden Dunphy gets to it. Drew Henderson. They'll play it up. Looking to get it out in front, and they do. Coming away with it is Jake Pushkar. He gets it over to Kay. Back to Pushkar. Pushkar looking to take on all the Spartans. But Pushkar keeps it in. Moves it over. They'll fire it on. Goes wide of the net. Marco Pinedo on now for the Gamecocks. He gets it over to Dunphy on the blue line. Dunphy just passes it straight to a Spartan. But he'll knock it down, removing the chance for a breakaway. So Dunphy makes up for what could have been a catastrophic mistake. And South Carolina playing keep away. They get fresh bodies on the ice. That one's played up to center ice. Colin Reed, he'll knock it down. 1:05 to go. Josh Wilkins on the boards. Drew Henderson fires it on and hit a body somewhere. Puck not cleared, however. Henderson still with it. Henderson puts it on. It's dribbling out in front. Meyer was teetering in the crease, and that one's fired into a banner to freeze play. 50.1 seconds remain. I don't think anyone knew where the puck was there for a little bit. Gamecocks had Meyer leaning but couldn't get anyone to the follow-up chance. And now one last opportunity for the Gamecocks to try and make this a one-goal game before we hit that second intermission. It'll be Wilkins, Scove, and Winklebleck. Winklebleck, who's been awesome in this game. Flaherty couldn't keep it in on the blue line. 40 seconds remain. Gamecocks coming back with it. This one, he's got Tommy Marvin trailing. That one's fired short side. Couldn't get it past him. Scove gets to it. Marvin back down to Wilkins behind the net. Wilkins with the puck still on his stick. He'll play it back behind the net, but it misses his intended target. Scove gets it over to Marvin. Marvin swings it over. 15 seconds. He puts it on, looking for someone out in front. Wilkins lost his stick. It was tied up. Flaherty keeps it in. Gets it down to Winklebleck. 8 seconds to go. Puck is kept in. Winklebleck. He's got Wilkins. Wilkins tied up. No one will get a stick to it. And the period will end. And we have extracurriculars. Josh Wilkins was still tied up with a Spartan, trying to untangle himself. But the refs have quickly put an end to things. And that'll end the second period of play, where South Carolina got their first goal off a power play to make it 3-1, and they had lots of other opportunities, and then they had an excellent penalty kill. But that's going to do it for this second period of action. For South Carolina, you just got to keep that up. You got 20 minutes to score 2 goals. And for Tampa, they're going to start to adjust to how South Carolina is defending zone entries. So I'm interested to see what adjustments each team makes and how well they implement them. We'll be back after this break for the third period of action.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the final period of action here from the the Plex in sunny Irmo, South Carolina, where the South Carolina Gamecocks will be joining the ice shortly as the Tampa Spartans have taken the ice for warm-ups here after what's been a very eventful game between two heavyweights. And here come the Gamecocks. But it was the first period dominated by the Spartans. They scored their first goal 6 minutes in
Off the stick of Fontaine, Nicholas Fontaine, his 10th of the season.
And then, with 5:46 to go in the first, Billy McCann scored his fourth to make it 2-0. Then later in the first, with 3:19 to go, Joey DeAngelis scored his fourth goal of the season to make it 3-0. In the second period, South Carolina fought back, earned some much-needed power play time, and on their second power play, scored a goal with 11:12 remaining in the second off the stick of Carson Scove,
which was his 7th of the season. So the Gamecocks with 2 goals to make up in this third period of action to try and force overtime. Of course, they could score 3 goals to win the whole thing. But, you know, both teams I feel like we're about to see the best versions of themselves. We saw how good Tampa was in the first period. And while they were far from bad in the second period, they were a lot, you know, South Carolina was a lot better. And South Carolina was able to impose their will. And we'll see who can make the best adjustments and, you know, really kind of take control of this one. If Tampa has adjusted well enough, I think that this lead might be a little too much to overcome. But, you know what they always say, 3-1 is the most dangerous lead in hockey. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how it stands right now as we are getting ready to get underway with discussions happening at both benches. Quick little hydration break. It's important. You know, we're not really skating around up here, but we are still moving. So both teams hitting the ice now. Tyler Tomoyan was excellent in that second period. He locked in, made some very big plays. Joining him on the ice, it's Tommy Locken, Josh Wilkins, Brendan Flaherty, Kai Bonsukin, and Enzo Finelli. I don't know what's taking so long. The officials have just been at center ice for a while. Tampa clanging their sticks on the side of the bench. Very offbeat of Metallica's Enter Sandman. What is happening? I mean, I'm not opposed. I love Enter Sandman. It's one of Metallica's best for obvious reasons. But both teams very slowly making their ways towards center ice. And I think we're about to get underway here in the third period after just a bizarre little delay. Or I just lied to you all. Is it an issue with the net? The refs are over here in Tyler Tomoyan's net. They were checking on something. And now they are coming over to the gate, talking to a staff member at the Plex. So it's clearly something to do with equipment. Still haven't the faintest. They're looking at something at the back of the net. We have retrieved a Swiffer. Actually, I think it's just scooping up ice. Was there, built up ice underneath the net, not letting it sit correctly? That's my working theory. Tyler Tomoyan is removing his gear.
I've quite never seen anything like this at a hockey game. I'm just over here imitating Guitar Hero Enter Sandman as we wait for this. Tomoyan is now getting dressed once again, so we might be close. All right, Tomoyan is ready. He has collected his stick. And I think we are a thumbs up from the official. We are ready to go here for the third period after a brief, weird break. Now Tampa can do their little stick banging thing. Face-off coming here at center ice.
Josh Wilkins manning the dot for the Gamecocks.
And we are underway now. And a whistle. My God. We'll start that over. Not even a second went off the clock.
And now
we are underway. Face-off sent into NetherRealm, but it's one back to Flaherty. Moves it over to Bonsukin. 19:50 to go. And Bonsukin just kind of skating by his lonesome. And they turn it over. Tampa now with an opportunity. They'll play it up the boards to the blue line. They're not able to keep it in. And Tommy Lockin just had his stick stolen by an official. You know, just what in the world is happening? Good play there by the Gamecocks as Wilkins will hammer it down. Enzo Finelli. Lockin couldn't get his mittens on it, but a penalty. I think the puck was played with a high stick. Tampa had an outlet brewing. Actually, we're getting an actual penalty. I haven't seen a hand signal. But it will be a 2-minute power play for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Something behind the play happened.
And the Gamecocks now with a chance to score their second power play goal and get really back into this one.
Carson Skov gets it down to Pushkar. Pushkar back to Skov, and an official gets in the way again. Back up to Marvin at the point. Marvin surveying. Cross-ice pass. Tic-tac-toe. They fire it on. It's saved by Mayer. Oh, Meyer with one of the most ridiculous saves I've seen, denying the Gamecocks a second goal. I mean, you can't draw it up better than what South Carolina had. They get it over to Marco Pineda. You can't afford to dwell on it. Pineda looking now. He'll put it on, saved by Meyer. Gamecocks getting to it on the boards. Coming away with it is Pushkar. Pushkar sends it back up the boards, or back up to the blue line. Over to Skov. Skov will work it over. He gets it over to Marvin. Marvin slap shot wide of the net. Marvin keeps it in. He's back up at the point. Works it down into the slot. Pass over. He shoots, and it hit the post. Kept in, however. Carson Skov with it now. They work it down. Back up to Skov at the blue line. A whiffed pass. Marvin does keep it in. It's worked back to Marvin. Marvin now at the point. He gets it over to Skov. Skov wrist one on. Loose puck out in front. It's chipped away by Tampa, and they clear it.
Oh, an initially amazing save by Meyer. And Marvin will carry it into the zone. Marvin moves it over. Put on by Pineda, deflected wide. 10 seconds remain on the power play. Tommy Marvin from the point, gets it on the goal line. Carson Skov sends it wide. Meyer gets a pad to it. And Tampa will come away with it with a man coming out of the box.
but the pass was a little too out in front, and Tommy Marvin will come away with it. 17:05 remaining in the third period. And Marvin surveying. Marvin works it down below. John Riggins in now. That one's a centering pass that found nothing,
but it was a dangerous opportunity for the Gamecocks.
Drew Henderson knocks that one down. Gamecocks looking to re-enter. Henderson playing it down now. Henderson carries it into the Tampa zone. Played back behind the net. Aiden Dunphy has it. Dunphy shoots it on. It goes wide around the boards to Henderson. Henderson gets it down behind the net. Garrett Albers with it. They had Henderson lurking in the face-off circle. They couldn't quite get the pass to him. I mean, he was unoccupied. Henderson with it now. He'll go cross-ice with it. Shot on, wide. Back around the boards for Henderson. Henderson to play it back down. Winklebleck back up to Henderson. Henderson making some moves. Henderson puts it on. Hit the post. And Tampa's able to clear it, but it hit the bench for Tampa, and they're not able to get a full change. Drew Henderson skates it on now. Back behind the net. Wrapped around the boards for Drew Henderson, who will play it around before he finally goes for a change. But now here comes Tampa off the change. They've got an opportunity now. Put it in the slot, but a stick got to it and it went wide. Now a cross-ice pass. Pineda gets to it. He plays it down. He's going to try and race down himself. Tampa going for a change. That one's a turnover. Nick Kay has it. Kay surveying, puts it on, deflected out in front. Loose puck got to by Tampa, but it's going to list away, and Nick Kay gets to it. Back behind the net. This one gets around the boards to Bonsukin. Back behind the net for Kay. But it's lost. Tampa trying to play it out, but they can't. Parker Pineda puts it on. It bounces ahead above the net. And this one goes up and in to the rafters to stop play with 14:49 to go in the third period. There will be a face-off in the Tampa zone. Face-off, one back by Carolina, but it jumped a stick, and they'll have to vacate the zone. Brendan Flaherty coming with it now. Tried for a cross-ice pass to Tommy Locken. Locken working it down now. Flaherty plays it into the Tampa zone. Enzo Finelli. Puck carried out of the zone by Tampa, but South Carolina was way off sides. Face-off coming outside the Tampa zone. Josh Wilkins. Brendan Flaherty exits the ice. Face-off, one back by Tampa. Ian Hoover played that one into the zone, but here comes Tampa now. And great stick play to knock it away by Tommy Marvin. And the Gamecocks now with a chance off the rush. Getting to it was Locken, but Wilkins keeps it in. Wilkins' backhanded chance dribbles wide. And now just a mass of bodies. Coming away with this Tampa, they'll look to try and clear. Passes a little bit behind. They get it over. Off the rush chance, this one was shot, and Tamoyan got the pad to it. I don't think he expected it to go 5-hole. This one will not get icing. It missed the net, but South Carolina now with a chance. Uvert will just play it all the way back down again as the Gamecocks had to tag up. South Carolina looking to force a turnover in their attacking zone. That one's played into the Tampa zone. But South Carolina unable to stay onside, and here comes Tampa on the rush. Tampa, he shot, but he forgot the puck. That one hit the post. And now here comes Colin Reed. Reed, a pass just outside of the outstretched arms of Carson Scove, the goal scorer for the Gamecocks this evening. And now South Carolina back on the defensive. Ben Riccitelli hounding the puck carrier behind the Carolina net. South Carolina will come away with it. They play it up for Pushkar. Pushkar tried to play it to himself. Connor Berman will keep that one in at the blue line. That one's cleared all the way down and will be icing. The whistle will blow with 12:06 remaining. On the ice for the Gamecocks is Matthew Winkleblick, Drew Henderson, Connor Berman, Garrett Albers, and Aiden Dunphy. Face-off coming, 12:06 remaining in the third period. An offensive zone draw for the Gamecocks. They've got 12 minutes to score 2 goals, or 3 goals. Something is delaying this. The officials are speaking with the Tampa bench. We're back underway. Winkleblick wins the faceoff. Garrett Albers with a shot on. It's deflected by a body. Tampa looking to clear. And they're able to, and here comes the Spartans off the rush. Tried to play it back, but a great stick play by South Carolina. And Winkleblick shoots that one up into the rafters. It'll come back to just outside the South Carolina zone. That was Ben Cleary for Tampa, who raced down there and nearly had a great opportunity. Face-off won by someone. Aiden Dunphy finally comes away with it for Carolina. Dunphy plays it over to Drew Henderson, who tries to get it up, and he can't. And Tamoyan will just have to discard that. Connor Berman gets a huge hit delivered. Tampa has it behind the Carolina net. That one's shot on, pad save, Tamoyan. 11:15 to go now. That's one's attempt to play it forward for Matthew Winkleblick. He couldn't quite get on it. But here's an opportunity. Garrett Albers coming away. He's got Winkleblick and Henderson, and they call offsides. The same ref that's gotten in the way of every Carolina skater whistles Drew Henderson offsides, and I'm not sure about that one. Face-off coming just outside the Tampa Bay zone. One back by Carolina. Brendan Flaherty, puck carrying. He gets it into the Tampa zone. That one's shot on wide of net. Nick Kay gets to it. Kay just kind of plays it up the boards, but Tampa will come away with it. Kai Bonsukin misplays it. Now Tampa, they're moving it on, and it's fired up and out of play. It went up to Moyen like a ramp. 10:43 to go here in the third period. Face-off coming, glove side of Tamoyan. 10:43 to go. Tampa wins the face-off. They'll play it behind the net. Gamecocks do come away with it, and it's a pass just a little out of reach of Marco Pineda. And they can't keep it in. It'll go all the way around. For an icing call with 10:19 to go in the third period. So that'll bring the puck all the way back down into the Carolina offensive zone for a draw.
And Carolina, you know, if they're going to tie this thing up, you kind of think that they need to do it. They need to get that second goal on the board pretty quickly.
Face off. Dude, another whistle. 1 second went off the clock, I think. We'll redo that face off, I guess. That one is won back by Tampa, but they'll play it around the boards, and it's kept in by Kai Bonsuka. Gamecocks with it behind the net, but it's deflected and will be taken control of by Tampa. They'll play that one into their own bench. So the face-off, I think, is going to come back to the – it will. So it'll be a offensive zone draw for Carolina yet again. Tommy Locken, Enzo Finelli, Josh Wilkins on ice for the Carolina. The blue line is Ian Hoover and Aiden Dunphy. And Tampa, early in the face-off circle, they'll have to cycle out. One back by Taylor, you know, it was poked away, and Tampa comes away with it aggressively off the face-off. Initial save by Tamoyan, follow-up save by Tamoyan, and he'll freeze it. So Tamoyan had to be feisty there and on his toes. And now this is the face-off game to end all face-offs. We have another one. .9:55 remaining in the third period. Tampa wins the faceoff. They'll go cross ice with it. Shot on, deflected pad by Tamoya. No one was there on the follow-up for Tampa. They had, a wide open net if they felt, if they had somebody there. But there's a turnover in their own zone by South Carolina. Nice getting a body to it, but Tampa still has kept it in. They'll play it back behind the net. Gamecocks do come away with it now. It's been Riccitelli. Riccitelli carrying the puck, playing it into the Tampa zone. Tommy Locken on the move now. He delivers a big hit. Enzo Finelli tries to get that one up the boards. And then a weird hit by a Tampa player. And now a Tampa player has hit the ice. And it's cleared out by the Spartans. Moving on now in transition is Tampa. They'll shoot it on, saved by Tamoyan, but although it was loose, centering pass finds Enzo Finelli. Now Tommy Locken tried to clear it, but it took a weird bounce. Still in for Tampa. Spartans now, they'll play it behind the net. And Tamoyan's just going to cover that one up. That one found the blue paint. And Tamoyan had enough of that nonsense. Face-off is won by Tampa. Shot on, pad save, Tamoyan. Now the Gamecocks with a chance off the rebound. They'll get it up to Colin Reed, but it's poked away by Tampa, and the Gamecocks will have to reset. Reed trying to initiate some offense. Plays it into the Tampa zone. Gamecocks looking to come away with it on the boards, but they can't. Still in. And a Gamecock hits the deck. It's Reed. And Tampa comes away with possession, although they lose it, and it goes up and out of play. He slipped, and as he slipped, he
through his stick, and the puck went with it. This was a bizarre game. Face-off coming stick side of Meyer. And that one, it hit the ref. Shot on, saved by Meyer. And it's cleared out by Tampa. 7:45 remaining in the third. And Carson Skov will get it cross ice. Tommy Marvin skating it behind the net. He's got it to Colin Reed. Reed plays this one up. Gamecocks looking to keep it in. They can't. Ian Hoover will just chip it on down. The Gamecocks will touch up. Tampa looking to generate some offense. 7:05 to go in this one. That was a nice move. Tamoyan leaning, centering pass, found no one, but Tamoyan didn't see it. And now here's a chance for South Carolina. Connor Berman, he's got help. And down goes, I think, Tommy Marvin. And a penalty coming up to Tampa. A penalty for slashing with 6:41 to go. The Gamecocks will go back onto the man advantage, where they are 1 for 3 in the contest with their one goal. Face-off is down, and coming away with it is the Gamecocks. They get it up to Pineda in the slot. He'll move it over to Marvin. Marvin back to Pineda. Pineda puts it on, deflected out in front. Meyer had a quick save, and now the puck will come out of the Tampa zone. Marvin winning the race down. Oh, he was in hot pursuit by Ryan Andrews. Skov gets it over. Now looking to carry it in is Skov. He does, and the Gamecocks will try to get set up again. Skov surveying. He gets it over to Marvin at the point. Back over to Skov. Skov gets it down to the goal line. Spinning chance. Meyer doesn't know where the puck is. Whistles, and I think Meyer froze it. I don't know how that one didn't get in. It seemed like it was going straight for an unoccupied part of the goal. I mean, that's just been the story of this game. South Carolina, when they finally get a chance, it just somehow does not go in. 1:14 remaining on the power play for the Gamecocks. Face-off coming. Tampa wins it away. They'll rattle it around the boards, and South Carolina will have to clear and touch up. They get it down. Carson Skov is able to somehow keep that one onside. Skov gets it up to Marvin. Marvin has it at the slot. Back over to Skov. Skov toe drag, hits a pad. Gamecock follow-up chase, he scores! South Carolina with another power play goal! And the Gamecocks are back within one. They had a backdoor opportunity, and it was hammered home by Marco Pineda. So talk about special teams for South Carolina. That is Marco Pineda's 5th goal of the season. The senior winger, alternate captain. And what a power play for South Carolina. They'll win the faceoff here. They have 5.5 minutes to find an equalizer. This is the loudest the Plex has been since the very start of this one.
as it's better late than never for the Gamecocks. Gamecocks hounding Tampa in their own zone. That one's shot over and out of play. That one did not hit anything. I think South Carolina wants a delay of game call. Tampa wins the draw and shoots it all the way down for an icing call, despite it looking like
89, Nicholas Fontaine, one of the goal scorers for Tampa, had won the race. 5:01 to go, an offensive zone draw for the Gamecocks in need of one more goal to knot this thing up at 3.
Face off, one back by Tampa, but South Carolina hounding them. Spartans able to clear it, and they're on the run. They're offsides, however. So a break there for the Gamecocks. Alex Moeller was closing with speed on Tyler Tamoyan in net. It'll be Wilkins, Locken, and Kay on the ice for the Gamecocks. Flaherty and Bonsukin. One by Tampa, shot into the Carolina zone. That one just misses the stick of Locken. Tampa skating away with it, but he loses the puck at center ice. Gamecocks come away with it. It's Nick Kay. Kay has Locken behind him. He tried to drop it back, but it was deflected. Kay wins it back anyway, and Meyer will just have to just cover it. And now we have some post-whistle activity, and oh my goodness. Someone just got absolutely decked for Tampa. Nick Kay took very kindly. That was actually Fontaine who just got leveled. And Kay will go to the penalty box. Fontaine hit Kay from behind after the whistle and then skated in front of him, and Kay responded in kind with a very physical extension of his arms. I think the officials are trying to figure out what the severity of the penalty they're about to dish out. Both teams' captains are speaking with the officials. I'm sure they're also getting the settle everyone down right now speech. It is a 5-minute power play. For the Tampa Spartans. Nick Kay is going to hit the locker room early. But it's a 5-minute major on Carolina, and that's the one thing you just cannot afford to do. Now for the rest of regulation, unless Tampa commits a penalty, you're playing a man down. There's only 4:25 left in this game. You're looking for an equalizer. Well, now you have to do it playing handicapped.
I mean, just not the smartest move.
Ref still talking it out. Puck coming back into the South Carolina zone. And now, South Carolina's penalty kill, excellent tonight in their one chance. This is something completely different. They're going to be playing a man down for the rest of regulation, needing one goal to at least send this one to overtime. And they're going to have to be playing. And Tampa coming away with a scrum with the puck. And the puck is tied up on the boards. Number 33 for the Spartans, teeing up in the slot. Coming away with it is Tampa. And they'll play it all the way back behind the net. And here comes Carson Scove. Scove coming away with it. Scove moving in transition, but he lost the puck. And I believe Scove was just carried off sides. 4:18 to go on the power play, only 3:43 to go in regulation. On the ice for the Gamecocks is Connor Berman, Colin Reed, Drew Henderson, and Tommy Marvin. A big thing here is when South Carolina inevitably pulls their goalie trying to tie this game, you're only getting it back to 5-on-5. You're not going to have that man advantage you normally have if you went empty net. Connor Berman trying to harass the puck carrier for Tampa, trying to force a turnover. Instead, he's going to skate in. He's on Marvin. He loses it. Marvin comes away with it. Colin Reed plays it up and out of the South Carolina zone. And that one is shot all the way down. Tomoyan comes out of his crease to play it. A Spartan gets to it, and Drew Henderson goes down, and he's still down. No penalty to Tampa somehow. It looked like he took a stick right in the face, and none of the officials saw it. He is very slow to get up. The officials are hearing it from the fans. I think I heard something from the area of the South Carolina bench. I'm hearing curse words from the South Carolina bench. So that's fun. They're very complimentary of how the officials have handled this one. He's still down, Drew Henderson. He's up on his knee now. Maybe this is something South Carolina needs. Some adversity, you're backed into a corner. And Henderson is skating off the ice under his own power. His helmet, I think, is in pieces. Well, that one was loud. 3:07 remaining here in regulation as South Carolina looks for a tie. Playing a man down, but now, with what happened to Drew Henderson, they've got a spark underneath him. Connor Berman's going to be coming away with this, and he loses it a little bit. And it's back to Berman. Berman skating all over the place. He gets it up. Carolina will clear it down. They're just going to try to win a race. It's Tommy Marvin charging on hard. Meyer came out of his crease and played it. With South Carolina, I think it's banking on is forcing a attacking zone turnover. But now it's a 4-on, he's skating in, he shoots on, and it goes wide of net. Oh, an almost excellent opportunity for Tampa. They still have the puck. That one's fired on, deflected. And Tampa, a player for them, gets absolutely shellacked, but they still have possession of the puck. Pad save Tomoyan. He saves it again. Tomoyan coming up huge. 2:13 to go in the game. Carolina needs possession. Tommy Marvin trying to win it off the boards. They do clear it. And Carolina is going for a line change. And that one missed a stick. South Carolina with a chance, and it will be icing.
icing called on Tampa with 1:58 to go in regulation. So if an offensive zone draw for the Gamecocks needing 1 goal to tie. And Tamoyan, you know, in the case of the Gamecocks winning this faceoff, he's going to be booking it to the bench to try and get someone on to even this play at 5 and attempt the patented empty net offensive masterclass. 1:58 remains in regulation. It's Carson Scove on the dot for the Gamecocks. Most important faceoff of the game so far is one back by Tampa. Tamoyan stays in his net. Tampa just playing it around. Kai Bonsukin gets a nice stick on it, and the Gamecocks do come away with it at neutral ice. Carson Scove with it now. He'll look to carry it in. Scove plays it down. Meyer will freeze it. 1:36 remaining. And another face-off. And more extracurricular activity after the whistle. This one, Colm Trainer for the Spartans, I think, got whacked. Someone's hitting the penalty box for Tampa. Number 7, Justin Evans, is going to the box with 1:36 to play. He's pleading his case, but it's 4-on-4 hockey. Well, now they've come and they've sent Carson Scove to the box. Late. No one understood. I think Carolina called their timeout. It's been an interesting one. Refs discussing things at the scorer's table. Well, the Gamecocks are on the ice with 4 players. Tampa's on the ice with 5, so I guess these are just offsetting penalties. Much to the displeasure of the denizens of the Plex. But after that delay, the Gamecocks do come away with it. Brendan Flaherty, Tamoyan has left his net. Gamecocks still with possession. Looking to keep it in. The ref gets in the way again. Tampa comes away with it. They shoot it on. It's wide of the net. I mean, the officials have gotten in the way of Brendan Flaherty on the blue line several times. Flaherty makes a man hit the ice. Flaherty toe drag, fires on, deflected. Follow-up chance, looking for it, loose out in front. Meyer, he just doesn't have the puck. They fire it on. No goal. They say no goal. South Carolina thinks they scored. The officials are saying no goal. 1:02 to go. South Carolina was convinced they scored. The official said no goal. Tommy Larkin is having to be restrained. He's in the box. And Tommy Larkin is about to go after this ref. He just ripped open the penalty box. The ref is now in the penalty box. There have been words. I wish we could repeat them on the broadcast, but oh my goodness, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I mean, the penalty box door is still open. Tommy Larkin is still jawing at these refs. I just don't understand it. There was no goaltender interference. They're talking to Sawa. I'm quite frankly shocked. I mean, That ref said no goal before he could even see it in that mass of bodies. They never blew their whistle at any point. It's been an amateur performance by the boys in stripes tonight. That's the best way to put it. 1:02 remaining for South Carolina to try and find an equalizer that the officials deem possible. They're still talking. I feel like this happens every time we play Tampa. The net is empty for South Carolina. Face-off coming. Carolina comes away with it. They had an opportunity. It's shot down at center ice, however, by Flaherty. Gamecocks touch up. Flaherty drags it into the zone. He's got it. He puts it on. It's deflected wide of the net. Coming on is Bonsukin. He keeps it in. Colin Reed plays it off the boards. They get it down to Bonsukin. Bonsukin plays it behind the net. Enzo Finelli gets to it for South Carolina. We're under 30 minutes, or under 40 seconds to go. Gamecock players dragged down. It's kept in by Brendan Flaherty. He just gets it down, and Tampa gets a stick to it. It's shot up. They're going to try and put it on, but he lost the puck. 23 seconds to go. They try for the empty netter. They don't get it. 20 seconds left. South Carolina with one last opportunity. They'll play it up. It's played into the zone. Enzo Finelli to it. 13 seconds. South Carolina trying to wrestle it out of the corner. 8 seconds to go. 6 seconds. The puck is finally out of the corner. They'll play it around. Under 3 seconds. They put it on. It's loose out in front, but a stick can't get to it. And South Carolina falls 3-2. And the refs are grabbing South Carolina players and almost just knocked over Jake Pushkar. Get these guys off the ice, man. I mean, frankly, one of the most ridiculous officiating performances I've ever seen. These guys should be embarrassed. What are you doing? That's absurd. I mean, clogging up the passing lanes like you're a defenseman. And the teams are going to shake hands, but South Carolina is miffed. We can very visibly tell. And you can tell probably by my voice. I mean, I just can't believe what I just saw over that third period. The Gamecocks will fall to 9-2-1. They will be back in action on Sunday, taking on this Tampa Spartans team, getting Saturday off, of course, for the homecoming festivities and the football game. But they'll have to bounce back. For South Carolina, a hard-fought performance. The first period was just too deep of a hole to dig themselves out of. They had plenty of chances. It looked like they had tied the game with a little over a minute to go. And Josh Wilkins is still kind of meandering about. But for Tampa, they moved to 7-2 on the season. And they will look to sweep the Gamecocks on Sunday. Spencer Ball will be back with me on Sunday. He'll be on play-by-play. So if you're sick of my voice, you at least get you get a brief reprieve. But I think that's going to do it here from the attic in the Plex. We'll see you on Sunday for SGTV. I'm JP Barry, joined by my glorious crewmates, Micah, Rhoades, Doug Andreuzzi, Mary Des Parker. It was a fun one. It was a tough one. The Gamecocks fall 3-2 to Tampa, and that's going to do it. Have a good night, Carolina. See you Sunday.